Namaskar. Hello, this is Sonal Malik welcoming you to my channel on Constitution of India. And today we are going to discuss preamble to the Constitution of India. जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं भारत के संविधान की उद्देशिका. ये preamble है क्या? What is this preamble? Preamble is derived from two Latin words which are pre, which of course most of you would be knowing means before, and the second word is ambulus, which means to go, something which goes before. But goes before what? I suppose most of you have been reading books, especially during this period of lockdown, to stay at home and enriching your lives. So when you read a book, the first part that the book has is known as either foreword or a preface. Sometimes both of these precede the book. What do these things contain? This preface or this foreword contains the philosophy of the author. By reading this, you can understand what was the objective of the author behind writing this book, what drove him, what motivated him. Similarly, when we have a preamble before a law or constitution, through that preamble, we can figure out what are the philosophies behind that constitution, what are the objectives, the ideals and aspirations behind that constitution. Our constitution is no different. When our constitution was made, our constituent assembly adopted a preamble to the constitution. So we have this preamble. Now, as I said, it was adopted by the constituent assembly, but adopted how? So it was adopted from an objective resolution which was put forward by Pandit Nehru on 13th December 1946, and subsequently it was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 22nd of January 1947. This objective resolution laid out the objectives that our constitution seeks to fulfill through this preamble, and we are going to understand what this preamble is today. So as I told you, the preamble is about the objectives and the philosophies. So our preamble reads like, we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. अब अगर हम इसको हिंदी में समझें, जैसा मैंने आपको बताया किताब की शुरुआत में एक प्रीफेस होता है, फोरवर्ड होता है, उसी तरह हमारे संविधान की एक उद्देशिका है. इस उद्देशिका से हम समझ सकते हैं कि संविधान के लिखने के पीछे क्या फिलॉसफी थी, क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव्स थे, क्या गोल थे. तो हमारे संविधान की उद्देशिका है, हम भारत के लोग, और जो उद्देश्य फुलफिल करना चाह रहे हैं उसको हम शॉर्ट में ऐसे समझ सकते हैं. हम भारत के लोगों ने भारत के नागरिकों के लिए एक संविधान अडॉप्ट किया है 26 नवंबर 1949 को, और इसमें हमने अपने पॉलिटी का एक स्वरूप चुना है अपने लिए. ये क्या है? एक संप्रभुता संपन्न, समाजवादी, पंथ निरपेक्ष, लोकतंत्रात्मक गणतंत्र, जिसमें हम अपने नागरिकों के लिए सुनिश्चित करना चाहते हैं सामाजिक, आर्थिक व राजनैतिक न्याय, स्वतंत्रता विचारों की, उनके एक्सप्रेशन की, उनके मत, उनके धर्म एवं उपासना पद्धति की, समता, स्टेटस और अपॉर्चुनिटी की, और बंधुत्व. और इन सब के साथ साथ हमें सुनिश्चित करना है कि भारत में एकता व अखंडता बनी रहे. ये हमारे संविधान का मुख्य उद्देश्य है। यहाँ पर ध्यान देने वाली चीज ये है, सोशलिस्ट, सेक्युलर and integrity. These words were added through 42nd Amendment Act in 1976 by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So, before I go further, since I have come to 42nd Amendment Act, let me tell you, earlier, preamble was not considered part of the Constitution. It was considered a separate aid to understand ambiguity in the law. In 1960, there was a case known by the name of Berubari Union. In this case, the Supreme Court declared that preamble is not part of the Constitution and hence cannot be amended. However, this position of Supreme Court was later reverted in 1973 by Supreme Court itself in the now famous case of Keshavanand Bharati case. So, in Keshavanand Bharati case, Supreme Court ruled that preamble was adopted and enacted by the Constituent Assembly through the same process in which our Constitution was adopted and enacted. Hence, it is part of the Constitution and can be amended under Article 368. Article 368 being that provision in the Constitution through which our Constitution is amended. तो जैसा मैंने कहा, 42वें संशोधन एक्ट के तहत सोशलिस्ट, सेकुलर और इंटीग्रिटी जोड़ा गया था प्रियम्बल में, और इस एक्ट से पहले 1960 में बेरुबारी यूनियन केस में यह डिक्लेयर किया गया था सुप्रीम कोर्ट के द्वारा कि प्रियम्बल हमारे संविधान का पार्ट नहीं है, इसलिए इसको बिल्कुल भी अमेंड नहीं किया जा सकता है। मगर 1973 में केशवानंद भारती केस में जजमेंट आया सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, जिसमें यह डिक्लेयर हुआ कि हमारे संविधान को जब अडॉप्ट किया गया था उसी समय प्रियम्बल भी अडॉप्ट हुआ था उसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली के द्वारा, इसलिए ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का पार्ट है और इसको हम अमेंड कर सकते हैं 368 आर्टिकल 368 के अंतर्गत। मगर हमें ध्यान ये रखना है कि जब भी कोई अमेंडमेंट हो तो वो इन आइडियल्स, इन सिद्धांतों, इन प्रिंसिपल्स और फिलॉसफीज को कहीं पर भी काटे नहीं। इफ एनी अमेंडमेंट इज अगेंस्ट these principles laid down in the preamble, then it will violate what is known as the basic principle of the constitution। और अगर बेसिक प्रिंसिपल के अगेंस्ट जाएगा तो वो कोर्ट में मान्य नहीं होगा। Any law which goes against basic principle as envisioned here will be ultra vires to the provisions in the constitution and hence cannot be considered legal. Now, coming to the preamble, we the people of India, this tells you the source of power in our polity. We, the citizens of India, are the source of power. And how? Because we have chosen the legislators, we choose legislators, we chose the members of the Constituent Assembly to enact laws for us. So we are the seat of power. And how we exercise that power? Through democratic republic. Democracy means a government in which people are of primary importance. As you know, as has been said by Abraham Lincoln, a government of the people, for the people, by the people. That is democracy. And republic refers to the system where the head is president. In our case also, our president is the head of the democracy. He might be only nominal head, but he is the head of the polity. So we have a democratic republic. तो हमारा लोकतंत्र है, हम लोगों को चुनते हैं, हमारे लिए रिप्रेजेंटेटिव चुनते हैं, एमएलए एमपी चुनते हैं, इसलिए ये डेमोक्रेसी है। हम इनडायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी है और हमारे स्टेट के जो हेड हैं वो हमारे राष्ट्रपति हैं, इसलिए गणतंत्र है। Now, we have defined ourselves as a sovereign republic. What does sovereign means? Sovereign means supreme will of the state. But this supreme will of the state is curtailed because there also has to be liberty of thought, expression, belief, which we will be discussing in fundamental rights. Neither the liberty is absolute nor the sovereignty is absolute, but sovereignty is emphasized by this unity and integrity. You have to understand this. No act of liberty can go against sovereignty and integrity of the country. If it goes against it, then your liberty is in danger. Then socialist, as I told you, socialist was inserted through 42nd Amendment Act, but our form of socialism is different from Chinese or any other socialist country. How? In the sense that हमारे यहाँ we have social, economic as well as political justice and liberty of belief, faith and worship. These things are absent in socialism. चाइना की अगर हम बात करें, चाइना के समाजवाद में आपको पॉलिटिकल न्याय, राजनीतिक न्याय नहीं मिलता है. आप अपने हिसाब से अपने फेथ को और अपने पूजा पद्धति को प्रोफेस नहीं कर सकते. इन इंडिया यू कैन प्रोफेस, यू कैन प्रैक्टिस, यू कैन प्रोपेगेट योर फेथ, बट that does not mean you are free to convert people as you wish. There are checks and balances, which again we will be discussing when we discuss the fund. Our country is a Gandhian socialist state which seeks to establish a welfare state. So जो हम PSUs देखते हैं, public sector undertaking, these are a result of this Gandhian socialism. Similarly, our country is secular. Again, our concept of secularism, though borrowed from the constitutions of different countries, is very different from Western secularism, in the sense that in Western countries, secular means absence of religion. But in our country, secularism is for the state. The state is bound to have a secular form of government. State cannot owe allegiance to any religion, but individuals have liberty of expression, belief, faith and worship. तो हमारा देश पंथ निरपेक्ष है. क्यों? क्योंकि सरकार का कोई भी धर्म नहीं हो सकता. सरकार किसी धर्म विशेष को प्राथमिकता नहीं दे सकती, परंतु हमारे पास स्वतंत्रता है अपने धर्म को मानने और अपनी पूजा पद्धति को अपनाने का, अपने धर्म का प्रचार और प्रसार करने का. So, as I was discussing, this is what our preamble is about. As I go forward with other topics within our constitution, like citizenship, fundamental rights, directive principles of the state policy, as well as fundamental duties, judiciary, legislature, we will be discussing all this throughout all those episodes. So this is a brief about the preamble of India. I hope you liked it. If you have liked, kindly subscribe to my channel and let me know how I can better myself and help you understand our constitution in a better way. Of course, I understand 10 to 12 minutes are too short to tell you in detail about the preamble, but we will be discussing that later on. As I said, philosophies are there to be discussed as we move ahead. Thank you for watching my episode and hope you liked it.